There's an oil tax ballot initiative, an oil tax bill, and the quintessentially Alaskan conversation of our fair share. ConocoPhillips Alaska holds the legacy of their state's oil production since the drilling of our first exploratory wells. We sat down with them to find out their perspective on oil taxes and exploration in Alaska. Since the tax credits were changed and we're no longer with ACEs, how has that changed or affected Conoco's investment in Alaska?
So one of the things that's changed since we moved away from the very high tax rates under ACEs is we've been investing more money in Alaska, more money in development projects in the core fields of Alpine, Prudhoe Bay, and Kuparuk, and we've also been doing a lot more exploration. Over the last few years, we've had some pretty significant successes in the exploration area, and we're doing some additional exploration this year. This year, we're trying to prove up the size of the Willow accumulation. That's a new field that we found a few years ago that could be upwards of 450 million barrels to 750 million barrels. We're anticipating over 100,000 barrels a day of production from the Willow field.
That's a pretty significant addition that will be going into TAPS, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and so every barrel that goes into TAPS lowers the tariff for all the other barrels. So the impact of the state of Alaska is multifold. They get more severance tax, more jobs from a field like Willow, plus it reduces the transportation costs for all the other barrels, which in turn means higher wellhead prices, higher royalties, higher severance taxes for the state of Alaska.
So the more barrels, the better, and it looks like there's a ton left in Willow.
We've just started. So we haven't made a final investment decision yet. We're still going through the permitting process on Willow. Hopefully we'll be finished with that process this year, and we're hoping to have production on stream in 2025, 2026. So at peak, we'll probably have around 3,000 people working on the project. Long-term, probably about 300 permanent jobs. It's going to be a big project, probably $4 to $6 billion to complete it. And before we see the first drop of oil, we'll probably spend $2 to $3 billion. So that's what these projects on the North Slope, they're expensive, they're complicated, logistics are difficult. It's a higher cost environment. The cycle times can be quite long. This will be about 10 years from discovery to first production.
Willow sits on federal land within the National Petroleum Reserve, which means that half the money the U.S. government receives will go to the state of Alaska to address the needs of North Slope communities. Reporting in Juneau, I'm Dorene Lorenz.